I'm home. Raika is 10,000 miles away from here. Reykja ran aground in Pilot's Bay for a bunch of reasons. There was a storm front, coming in faster and harder than expected. The engine had issues, so I arrived in the dark. No lights in the harbour, 35 knots of wind blowing from behind. Pitch black, tight space, moving fast. The wind grabbed Raika and knocked her up onto the embankment. Water intake, the rudder jammed. I managed to get 2 ropes out, so Raika didn't get further pushed up by the tide. I had to get her towed 30 miles to Launceston, then haul her out of the water to check the damage. The skeg, the part where the rudder is mounted to, is bent and it needs to be fixed back. Also, there are some dents in the hull that need to be cut out and to be replaced by new steel. Thanks God the boat is made of steel. I don't know what would have happened if it was GFK. Get in touch with a metalworks company. They take a look and give me a quote. Send it off to the insurance. They want an official surveyor from Hobart. He comes up, inspects Reykja, sends in his report. I write a detailed account of what happened to show it wasn't gross negligence. The whole damage probably will cost about 50,000 Australian dollar in total. Luckily, I'm insured, and luckily my insurance spontaneous seems to be very fair and correct. So in the end, I will pay in excess, which is still a lot of money, but it's not the whole sum. When I get back from Switzerland, Launceston has changed. It is winter, temperatures dropping to around freezing. I go on a hike with Bill and Kathleen to Lady Lake Hut. Next day, I'm flat in bed. Fever up to 40 degrees for a whole week. In the meantime, I'm a member of the Tamar Yacht Club. It's their slip and their boat yacht. And it feels a bit special for a solo sailor to be a member of a yacht club, especially an honorable yacht club from 1879. Before the mechanics can start welding, everything flammable has to be cleared out. I can't stay on board anymore. Bill and Patrice let me crash at their place. None of us had any idea it would be for 2 long months. They seal up the skeg and weld it back on. Replace the rudder shaft bracket. Cut out all the dents in the hull. Then weld in new sections. Even the boat's design causes trouble. The diesel tanks sit partly inside the keel, a real explosion risk. And up front, the keel's filled with lead, but also stupidly with carbon monoxide. Rain and frost keeps delaying the repairs. So I rent a car and do a second lap around Tasmania, this time by the road. Southwest Tasmania. 15 years ago, there was a war here. Environmentalists against forestry workers. The question was, should old forests be cleared? In the end, both sides won. Some old trees were protected, others were not. It wasn't the first environmental conflict. 50 years ago, Olegas Truchanos opposed a planned dam on Lake Pedder. He wasn't a politician, he was an outdoor pioneer. At that time, Tasmania's wilderness still was a blank spot on the map. I find his legacy in the museum in Launceston. This quartzite beach on Lake Pedder is now submerged. 15 meters of water cover it. But due to people like him, there was a movement. Today, a quarter of Tasmania is UNESCO World Heritage Site. Among Australia's largest cities, Launceston ranks 20th. You're at the end of the world, but you can get almost everything here. On foot or by bike. Perfect for me. And there's the atmosphere. Launceston's not a city like Hobart, but more a large country town. It's also one of the oldest in Australia. Not planned, but grown. Imperial architecture next to car parks and trucks with timber. Somehow unfinished, a bit frontier town, just like 200 years ago. Nestled in cultivated landscape, a mighty Tamar estuary and wilderness. Bill and Patrice keep picking me up from Reykja's construction site, so I don't get depressed. After 3 months, the metal workers have left. There is still enough work to do, and I need help. John, the electrician, is 82. He climbs ladders, crawls into all the holes in the bilge, and has an incredible overall understanding of ship technology. Ken, boat builder, 75. He's very good with contacts, know-how, craftsmanship, and books. Steve, sailmaker, over 70. He measures a sail plan for Raika and builds a storm jib for the return journey. Only Paul the painter is under 70. Barely. Me, I paint anti-fouling and do everything that can only be done when the ship is on the dry. Incredible 4 months since Raika stranded in Pilot's Bay. Now she's nice and shiny and looks new. But the big moment will come to let her into the water and to see if she still swims and whether the engine will turn on. Ken helps me launch. Yeah. We look for leaks and have success.
So you see water?
It looks like condensation, perhaps. Quite a bit there. A little pool there.
But it's fresh water, not a leak.
Let's start the motor. Big moment.
We shall see.
Because the diesel tank was emptied and refilled, there is air in the system somewhere. But where is it?
exhaust, you'll have water coming out. Yeah.
Reverse gear, but Raika doesn't move. The clutch isn't engaging. Perplexity. Do we have to go back ashore? Suddenly, movement. Well, maybe something was stuck. Seaport Marina, my first mooring since running aground. At high tide, the current flows at 2 knots under the bridge. Now it's still water.
That is horribly dangerous.
I can still do it, with a long keel and without a bow thruster. Well, there you go.
You can go to the side now, it's safe on the front.
It's mid of August now. Originally I wanted to sail back to Europe. But if I start now, I would be in the midst of the cyclone season in the Indian Ocean. And I decided that I don't want to risk that. So it means stay another year somewhere down under. I don't know whether I'm really happy about it. I have this idea that I'm getting older and older and the biological clock ticks. So I wonder if I can make it back next year, if I'm still strong enough to go half around the world. But now I will fly back home to Switzerland, celebrate our round birthday, come back, and maybe the next destination is New Zealand.